Welcome. Thank you for joining us. I'm Dan Pozell, Board Chair of New Village Girls Academy. In the midst of this challenging year, we are delighted to share with you the resilience and success of our amazing students. 15 years ago, we became the first all-girls public charter school in the state of California. Since then, we've built a beautiful community with our students and families at the center. I know from working closely with the staff that this year challenged us like no other. We hope tonight's program shows how our community has been able to maintain remarkable relationships, student learning, and innovation within the constraints of distance learning. Now it is my great pleasure to introduce our school principal, community builder extraordinaire, Jennifer Quinones.
Hello, and thank you for welcoming us into your homes and hearts this evening. It's no secret that this has been an extraordinary year for all of us. Through the thick and thin of it, my staff and I have been inspired to do more than ever before to guide our girls on the path to success. Although New Village has been rolling up sleeves for years, this time we tore those sleeves right off. This year marks the first year of our 5-year charter renewal, which was unanimously approved by the Los Angeles Unified School District. I'm so proud you're with us tonight to see our girls seize this moment and explore their interests and passions through real-world virtual internships, commit themselves to attending class on Zoom, how they kept up with their exhibitions, and achieved their college trajectory dreams. Best of all, our enrollment is up, and we'll be graduating our largest class ever in June. I hope you enjoy this peek into our world as we share this year's eventful journey with you. All right, good morning. So this morning we have already gotten kind of started on some things. We have 2 students that are here already for distributions. Advisors, please remind your students to come in. Don't forget they do have California Science Center later on today, so please remind your girls to go to their class as well. That's all I have. Kyle, do you have anything this morning?
As soon as you get into classes today, just remind them that I will be here every day from 9 until 6 o'clock at night. So that's it. Hopefully we get to see all the girls, and hopefully, we can check in on them and make sure they're safe and sound.
New Village is really, I think, the definition of collaboration and teamwork and love. That's really what every single person, our board members, our teachers, our office staff, our support staff, that's what we bring to the table. Is your mom with you?
Yeah. I feel like our students are closer than ever before. I see a lot more collaboration amongst our students, a lot more empathy. There's a lot of understanding, and there's a lot more communication.
Everybody here has character, and that's what I really love about this school.
My name is Bernice. I am Cheetah-licious, and I am a superstar here thanks to my teachers and mentors.
It's a positive thing and a very negative thing as well, because I want to grow as a person. I want to be outgoing, and virtually it stops me from being open and being there, right there.
The pandemic has been brutal for so many schools and communities. I think why New Village has been successful in engaging students is because you can rely on the relationships you have formed with students.
So we've known for a long time that part of what drives the so-called achievement gap, the disparities in student achievement, is that the kids with the greatest needs are the ones who tend to do least well. And we've ignored those needs to a large degree in this country.
Students who gravitate to alternative education, schools, and programs are seen through this deficit lens, right, of what are they lacking, what's missing, how many credits they owe in order to graduate. And what New Village centers is that these students have a lot more to offer.
So if you look at the kids who are most likely not to go to college, not to graduate, who don't do as well, they often have other needs that haven't been addressed.
The opportunities they should have, which is their right to have, really center around reimagining, right, who they can be.
This kind of holistic approach that New Village takes is so important because it acknowledges the ways in which those needs are connected.
There's great power in that, and New Village has learned so much, I think, throughout the years about the nuances of that. There's such great examples of how New Village leverages the talents of the community and the resources of the community, and it teaches them how to be responsible.
I love home visits because it gives you that opportunity to still connect and to still see the girls, even though, you know, it's always really quick and you know, you're trying to make sure that you are being respectful of their space. Aw, look at the baby. Do you want us to follow you in and help you carry?
I can actually take the elevator, which is...
Oh, okay. Hi, Mama. How are you? Es un regalito.
Thank you.
Ay, qué linda.
Lots of stickers too.
Thank you.
Aw.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, ya me dices dónde. Where are we going? You tell us where. You guide us. All right. Mama. You did such a good job. Thank you so much. You took us to the right place. You know how to reach me?
Yes, I have your
Let me know when your stuff is done. If you can't bring it, I'll come get it.
Yeah.
And then we'll do a refresh on supplies anyway.
Alrighty,
Yeah.
sounds perfect.
Okay.
Thank you guys so
Thank you.
much.
Mamita, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Love you, Miss.
Bye.
Bye.
Have a good day.
Bye.
Bye, Mama.
Yes, thank you. She's shy. Alright, thank you, Miss Chapel. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, Kim, she's so sweet. She's such a good girl too.
See, all of our girls are.
Yeah, I miss the girls. You know, we just need the girls back. That's it.
One of the reasons why I came to New Village is because I heard about their science program.
Pre-COVID times, we used to do science experiments in the actual science center.
Every Wednesday, we hop on a bus, we go to the California Science Center.
And they had, you know, their labs and microscopes and stuff. Post-COVID times, it's still fun.
Everything's through Zoom, but we still get materials to do projects and for the class.
A lot of the stuff that you'll need, whether it be in biology, for your internship, for science, anything. And even inside, you might find like a little goodie or two.
The experiments are really fun, even though like we're doing them at home, and you know, being able to still do those kind of things even with everything happening right now.
At the center of this interview experience is Brennan. She has a passion, a personal passion about learning how to create a voice that motivates other people to use their voice.
Do you feel that your role in getting young women a space they need to like express their voices in science can stem from you encouraging them to ask questions more and answering them?
Absolutely. For young women to be authentically who they are allows them to really flourish.
No answer is a bad answer. No question is a bad question. Really opens up a needed safe space for them to authentically be themselves.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, like I got you. I
Yeah.
ramble on too.
and then the confidence goes on. The thing of it is, there's no one shot in the arm that builds confidence in people that will sustain them forever.
Mhm.
You get one shot that sustains you until the next challenge, and you will be challenged. And then you have to have somebody or some environment that gets you through that next challenge. And then there'll be a next challenge. It never stops, never goes away. And so it's an incremental thing. And what I will do, I'll hand the New Village students off when they leave me, and hopefully they'll go to universities and colleges, and you guys get in some mighty impressive places, and you'll find mentors there. So it's a pay it forward kind of a thing. That's how it works.
Before we end,
Uh-huh.
I wanted to know, over the course of 5 years
Yeah.
of working for New Village,
Mhm.
like, what would you say is some of your favorite things, like favorite moments? And then over the course of this year of online learning, what was some of your favorite moments?
Over the course of the 5 years, some of my favorite moments have been surprises we've had in class. We do a lot with cryogenic materials, which is super, super, super cold. You get some pretty explosive reactions, and we've done some of those things in class, and it's just, I really like seeing the students respond to some phenomena that they don't get to see every day. We've built really large, I'm talking room length long wave generation machines that we build out of popsicle sticks and stuff like that. And those are things that allow the students to contribute to a project and then actually play around with something that they've done themselves. So to actually see the students get involved directly in the things that they have created, that's really great.
That's for sanitizer. There's soap.
Is that all we have?
A pair of 5 in the car that.
Yeah.
Let's go.
The pressure on this particular group of girls is immense. So at least in being able to drive to their home and take diapers and those really essential things for their babies, it helps. When you go and you visit them, you not only get a better idea of what they're experiencing and what's happening, but it really changes how you behave as well. You know, your level of empathy just skyrockets at that point.
We've been lucky that so many of our community partners have really stepped up their game during this.
Yeah.
You know, and I think it really just shows that the community has had to really come together. Like, we've been forced to really, understand what the needs are of not just our girls, but just the whole community.
The student that we're visiting right now, she is a young mom who is still trying to figure out, what a newborn baby demands every day. So it's really, really tough on her. And I did speak with the family. They don't have as much in terms of supplies, so they're getting a brand new stroller, diapers, and formula, and hopefully that will help her during this transition. How's everything with the baby? Are you sleeping?
Not so much.
Not so much? The goal is for you to be in your class, and if you can't be in your class during regular hours, it's okay. You have a baby. You're waking up 5 times at night.
We're your team, okay?
Yeah, you have a team of a lot of people that are willing to help you. You just have to take advantage of it.
Oh, you want to see?
I love babies.
They face a lot of different challenges. Miss Q is always making sure that if they don't have, how can we get, that's where I come in. I'm an interventionist, a community interventionist for the area here, the Rampart. We cover from Washington to 3rd and from Hoover to the 110 freeway.
We were on a college visit at Pomona, I think it was.
Yes.
And you walked up to me and said, "Will you be my mentor?"
You were in Dr. Purcell's office, and then I kind of walked in there and I asked Dr. Purcell, can I ask her right now if she could be my mentor? And then she was like, yeah, go ahead. And then that's when I started asking you, oh, do you think you could be my mentor? I remember the first time I came to New Village and I had to do an exposition. I was like, who does this? Like, you're not going to use this in life. At Dominguez Hills, I had to do 4 presentations in my first semester. And I was nervous, but I wasn't as nervous as the other students because I knew what the professor was exactly looking for and what points to really hit on.
Here you are. I mean, you graduated college, you got yourself a good job, and now you're looking at what's ahead of you.
Yeah, I'm glad I actually went through all that because now my half-sister, she's actually attending Cal State Dominguez Hills. She will be graduating within the next 4 years. My brother David, he starts in the fall of 2021, and he's gonna be attending Cal State Dominguez Hills as well.
None of this would have happened without you.
I would say that's True, but also with all the support I got, I had a really strong connection with my teachers, with my coaches, and the staff around New Village.
You've made me appreciate life so much. I think I've told you this. I've had a fabulous, fascinating career and all of that, but it still boils down to connecting with other people and the heart connection. You have so much to give. You're such a giving person.
I'll be forever grateful because when I needed help, you were there. Like when I simply needed someone to talk to, you were there.
I love you, Jaylene. You may.
I love you too, Brenda.
So where am I going to have to come see you weekly now? Who knows?
I'm probably going to start coming to see you now. Because for the past 5 years, you've been coming to see me. So now I think it's time for me to go to your place.
We as educators have a very wonderful privilege and a really, really incredible platform to talk with all of our students about the social inequities that exist in our world. And really, in all of our programming that we have, discussions on social justice and the inequities that people experience in our world take center stage.
I think internships are at the center of equity. They allow students to envision what their future might be. And I think what's really powerful about internships is that students are not only part of the table, but they're also contributing their ideas. They're learning how to navigate bureaucracies. They're learning how to build relationships with colleagues. They're learning about professionalism. And they're also learning about how they can also make a mark in the world.
I grew up in Boyle Heights. I was born over there. My mom went to jail when I was like at least 3 years old, and my dad probably like when I was like 1 or so. I'm not exactly sure. I always felt like I was an outsider, like I didn't belong somewhere. I got bullied when I was a little girl for not having parents, and it's made me feel bad about myself. At my other school, I had all Fs in most of my classes, well, all of them, and I had 0 credits entering New Village. I came to this school, and all of that changed. I seen like a better me. I seen a better version of myself. New Village is different. I have people that I can talk to, and people push me more right here to do and to try my best. I see myself as a lawyer or a social worker. My internship was at Homies Unidos. Right there, we would talk about social justice. They would work around incarceration a lot. My internship has gave me a push to be my better self, and to see who I want to be in life. It's a motivation for me, pushes me more forward because, like I said, no one in my family has ever graduated. I want to become that one person who does.
As educators, it's our duty to make sure that we're helping the students that we have assimilate to the culture that's around them so they can be successful. That we're going to be visiting a student that she has also been rather sick lately. We're going to have to talk to her from a distance because we don't know whether she's in the clear or not. I'm going to send you the stuff so that we can just start getting you all the support that you need right now.
Okay.
Don't be shy.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Haiti.
Bye, Mama.
Kyle has told me, anything you can create is creativity. Anything you can create is art. Everything is art.
What is beautiful and really inspiring about New Village Girls Academy is this constant motion of creating new programs so that not only do I believe in a girl, I am creating the place that she can thrive.
Some of the things we do in class, we practice basic skills. We do that by telling our stories, by being vulnerable, by cheering each other on and encouraging each other. Last semester, the girls were able to participate in a visual art internship where they learned different drawing techniques and were able to create their own stories through art. It was awesome for them to just be able to take their time to work on something, to express themselves, especially over Zoom during the middle of a pandemic.
I remember we took this trip to Joshua Tree. It was like a really nice trip. It made me just think that when you're one with nature, when you become one with nature, you let go of all that used to be.
The mindfulness training that our students engage in every single day has been incredibly helpful in the sense that it brings us peace, it brings us tranquility, it brings us grounding.
Wellness days, it does mean like taking care of yourself, but at the same time, it can also mean like taking care of others.
The wellness days, I only know them through Zoom. And I love showing up to every single one event. Like, I swear, Kyle never fails to make me laugh. And he's always so positive, and who doesn't need that?
We are very lucky. We were selected to be part of a study with our partners at UCLA and USC. Our teachers and our staff are learning different skills they can utilize every day to deal with stress.
So I'm incredibly grateful for the wellness study. I think it's opened a lot of my own personal doors. I think it has opened up my mind, and I think it's also allowed me to be a little bit more connected with my colleagues and my students.
Without a foundational sense of wellness in the body, in the mind, in the emotional field, very little is possible. Very little learning is possible. Very little growth is possible. And so it's essential that we start from the ground up.
This has changed the dynamics of our school. It's changed how we talk to each other, how we evaluate what's going on here, how we collaborate.
Working with New Village has been one of my favorite things during this pandemic. I've really seen the staff and the teachers are so there for each other, so supportive of one another, which enables the whole team to support the girls, the students.
Just when she said Girls Academy, I just imagined uniforms and strict policies and rulers hitting my wrist. You know, that's what I thought. But when I came here, it was so laid back. It was so chill. It was exactly what I wanted and exactly what I needed.
New Village board members have always approached the school as a deeply personal mission. That's why we work so closely with staff and the students. Andy Bogan, Belinda Walker, and Brenda Freiberg established this culture early on. As an independent charter school, nearly half our funding comes from foundations, businesses, and individual donors. Thankfully, these sources have maintained their extraordinary support throughout this difficult year. So the good news is we've been able to keep all our staff and services for our beloved students. Looking ahead, the future of New Village depends on building our leadership. This past year, we've welcomed 4 outstanding new directors to our board. Belen Vargas, Associate Vice President and Chief Mission Officer for Cal State LA. David Furman, Chief Executive of the Dan Murphy Foundation. Gabriella Tovar, Associate Vice President, Altamed Health. And Louise Nelson, Chief Legal Officer at UCLA. Now we have 5 women board members who were the first in their families to attend college and who have now gone on to distinguished careers. They share an important connection to our students and their families. At the same time, 4 of our long-term directors, Mike Babcock, Andy Bogan, Brenda Freiberg, and Wynn Rhodes, have moved from the board to our newly created advisory council, where they continue to be actively involved. Thank you, Advisory Council, and welcome new board members.
The future is our youth. So if you have dreams, which I believe we all do, about creating a better world, right? A more equitable world for all, supporting New Village Girls Academy will help achieve that goal.
New Village means a lot to me. And I'm so sorry I'm gonna get emotional here, but I am one of 5 females. I was raised by a single parent who taught kindergarten for 25 years. When I came on campus, I felt so safe. I just felt truly at home. I enjoyed working with the girls and laughing with the girls. Every time I came here to work with the students, I felt like I learned something, and I love the people that are here. You know, as I've, continued my relationship with New Village, and from the College Center, I moved on to the board, I truly believe that if we are not stepping forward and supporting those in need, and moving people along, then who are we? Who are we at the end of the day? It really takes so little, whether or not it's to volunteer or to drop off some gift cards or to write a nice big check if that's what you're capable of. We are responsible for this generation. And it's kind of time we showed up.
When the night has come and the land is dark and the moon is the only light we'll see.
No, I won't be afraid. Oh, I won't be afraid.
Just as long as you stand by me. So darling, darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Stand by me.
If the sky that we look upon should tumble and fall, or the mountains should crumble to the sea,
I won't cry, no, I won't shed a tear. Just as long as you stand by me. And darling, darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Oh, stand now. Stand by me. Stand by me.
and darling, darling, stand by me.
Oh, stand by me. Oh, stand now. Stand by me. Stand by me. Whenever you're in trouble, won't you stand by me? Oh, stand by me. Won't you stand now? Stand by me. Stand by me.
Hello, and welcome back. Thank you all for joining us this evening. That was such a beautiful representation of everything we've done during this challenging and extraordinary year. New Village means so much to so many people, whether you're a young girl that's finally found a school to call home, or our community that looks to us as a beacon of hope. We're always here for everyone. Tonight, though, we ask you to think about what New Village means to you. I want to take this moment to introduce my colleague and dear friend, Kyle Denman, who's been fielding a few questions. And please feel free to ask any questions in the chat box, should you have any questions about today's event. Kyle, take it away.
Thank you so much, Ms. Q. Yeah, thank you all again for being here tonight, tuning in from wherever you may be for a very, very special evening. So like Ms. Q said, I have been taking a couple of the questions from the chat. And so Ms. Q, let's get started.
You got it.
So the first question I have is, how can we donate to your school?
Thank you. There actually are a couple different ways you can. On the event page that many folks got via email, you can just definitely go on there, and there's plenty of buttons where you can click on to donate. Also, on the New Village website, on newvillagegirlsacademy.org, you can donate there. And if some folks would rather mail a check to the school, information is provided on the website where you can definitely mail those checks. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Q. The second question that we have this evening is, someone was wondering if you could talk a little bit about the college going rates that our school has, or maybe some other post-secondary options that our students will eventually choose.
New Village, honestly, has done some impressive work. Our girls are getting into universities many of them thought they would never even qualify to even dream of going to. Last year, over 90% of our girls got into or actually pursued post-secondary education. And this year, if everything goes as planned, at least about 85% of our girls are going to be moving on to either a 4-year university or a 2-year university.
Thank you. And, another question that we have from the chat is, what are some of the volunteer opportunities that we may offer?
Oh, yeah, that's huge. And I think we have been so incredibly creative about the work that we're doing. We have volunteers who come in to help us with mentoring students on their writing for some of their college applications in relation to our prior question, right? We also have folks that have volunteered their time to take in a student as an intern. And especially with an online platform, has become a lot more accessible to folks that that might not live in Los Angeles, but in other parts of the country. Volunteering can folks have contacted us for everything. They sometimes donate books and different supplies, art supplies. Anything is welcome. We are always more than happy to get creative with whatever time and energy folks have to be able to donate to the school.
Speaking of creativity, Ms. Q, I think we as a staff had to be very creative during this time. And another question from the audience is, how have we been conducting any kind of in-person transition? With COVID rates slightly going down in LA County, how have we adjusted?
So I have some really good positive news, right? These last 2 weeks, we have started incorporating our students back into school, bringing them in small groups, small cohorts. By the end of this month, most of our students should have that opportunity to be able to come back for in-person instruction. Some students are choosing to stay home for now, but the future looks positive. Basically, what's happening is COVID rates are dropping, and we're finally going to be at a place, I think, where we're finally going to be at a place where we're going to be able to continue the work that we've been doing, but in person. Cannot wait to get there. Obviously, we always, need to follow the guidance that's provided from local authorities, but we're going in the right direction. So hopefully all of our girls should be coming back soon. It's just a matter of making sure that we're doing it in a safe way.
And so, Ms. Q, this next question is actually a little twofold. So the first part is, what kind of student typically enrolls at New Village? The second part is, are we currently enrolling for next year?
I'm going to go ahead and start with the last part before I forget the part. Yes, we are. We are currently enrolling students. We've already have some students that have committed to coming in the fall, and we're working with our community to ensure that more girls and more people know that we're here to serve our community. And in terms of the typical student at New Village, we're really looking at offering a educational opportunity to a girl that's looking for a smaller setting, a girl that has needs that are not necessarily being, fulfilled in other places and would like to be in a school that will really focus on her individual needs, her individual interests and passions. So if we have maybe a young mother who, may have missed a couple months, or sometimes it happens a couple years of school, we're here for her. If we have a girl that has been challenged with, whatever challenges come up, we're here for her. And, if we have girls that are just looking for a smaller setting, we're here for her too.
Thank you so much. Another question that I have from the audience is, as of right now at least, how many students are expected to graduate this spring?
Actually, thank you for that. We are expecting to graduate our largest class ever in the history of New Village. We have 27 girls that are expected to graduate this spring, making it a total, because we had 5 girls that graduated in the winter, so it would be 32 girls in 1 year. That's a really big class. So we're incredibly excited about that. We're incredibly excited about being able to have a graduation in person. It's especially something so big. I mean, June's going to be fantastic. It's going to be fantastic for our girls, for our community, for their families. I know you're excited too, and our creativity wheels are turning all day, so hopefully it'll be a big and beautiful event.
And again, going back to this idea of being creative during this time, another question was, how have you all been creative, especially during the supply distributions? What are we able to offer our students during those monthly supply distributions?
Supply distribution really came up out of really thinking about addressing all of the individual needs of each student at a time where we couldn't be in person. So it started with access to computers, access to hotspots, and then it moved on to food, it moved on to supplies for internship, it moved on to just everything under the sun. So at one point, we had diapers and formula and baby clothes and just books, a lot of books for our girls, to be able to not only read to their own children, but also to have in their own homes. And so supply distribution turned into an all-out fun event where our families came in, and we got to see our families during a time that, we didn't have really that much opportunity to physically see them. When COVID rates surged, however, we did have to hold back on supply distribution for everyone's safety. But as soon as we got the okay to reopen that, we went back to serving our community and making sure everyone had the supplies that they needed for internship and all of their classes, including science kits. That's where, that was the other big thing. It was science kits, making sure that our girls had all of their kits that they could work on at home so they could stay engaged.
Yeah, for those of you in the audience, Miss Q and I have had to learn a lot about babies and diaper sizes this past school year, very, very quickly.
Yes. Kyle and I had no idea how many diapers a baby really uses. Now we know, so we can babysit people now.
Another question I have from the audience, Miss Q, is there any charge to attending New Village?
No, there is no charge to being here. We offer so much, and I think we do so much for our community, and sometimes some folks think, that must be a private school if they're able to do all of that. But I have to say, I have such a hardworking board, and our New Village family, and everyone that's here tonight is part of our New Village family. Everyone contributes to what makes up New Village and what makes it possible for us to provide what we provide our families. We fundraise half of our budget to be able to provide this programming. So I want to say thank you now, for everyone who's been a part of our family, contributing, whoever will. This is all going to such a great cause and really improving the lives of girls that have so much potential. All they need is a setting that allows them that opportunity to bring that out. So thank you guys for being a part of our narrative.
Yes, thank you all so much. And I want to be respectful of everyone's time. So, Miss Q, I think I'm just going to field just a few more questions.
You got it.
So the next question is, again, how can people, especially during this time when we're not allowed to be necessarily together in person all the time, how can a person help?
I think the easiest way, and this is really important, with such a changing dynamic all the time, the easiest way is for folks to donate to our school. That way, we are able to really manage what's necessary at that time. And in order to donate, I think I said this earlier, but in order, you have the event page that you can click on Donate Now. On our website, you can go to www.newvillagegirlsacademy.org and donate there. And if anybody would rather mail a check in, the information on where to send the check is posted on our website. But that's honestly the easiest way, and I think the most efficient way, because that allows us the flexibility of being able to really put those funds where they're necessary at that moment. And if there's anything that has happened during this time, is we've all learned that flexibility is king, or in our case, is queen. And it makes just everything a lot easier.
Yeah, actually, speaking about flexibility, Ms. Q, what has been the thing that you have had to learn most, or that you have had learned most during this past year as principal?
Oh, wow.
It's hard to narrow down, I know.
Wow. Definitely flexibility and walking away knowing that whatever emails were sent on Monday changed completely by Friday, and learning how to really manage the stress that comes with that and not put that on other folks, and learning how to take all of this information during a time where it almost seems impossible to collaborate, but to put collaboration at the front of everything. I am incredibly lucky. I have a wonderful board that supports me. I have amazing staff. I couldn't ask for anything better. And running, our school requires a lot of work, but I'm never alone. I'm always working with the most wonderful people that are just incredibly helpful. And so I think if I had to pick one thing, Kyle, aside of flexibility, I would say the real meaning of collaboration.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. I think our team has really, really come together during this time. I think we really are one big family. We really are, a village, and I think that's incredibly special. Now, the next question from the audience is asking if you could maybe talk a little bit more about internships, kind of talking about what that actually is at our school.
Well, internships are honestly an opportunity for our girls to really get real world learning. And I know sometimes that's hard for some folks to understand, but our girls really don't always have access to fields that many of them might be interested in. And so for us to put that and make that a priority for our school, what we're saying is we're opening doors for girls to really imagine what they want to be. If you can think it, if you can imagine it, you can be it. And that's really what we're offering our girls. That's why when many of them graduate from here, they know exactly what they want to do in college. So this time around with internships, because we had to go virtual, Ms. Crisel Rodriguez, who is our internship coordinator, just really went in and got so creative on how she was able to continue that programming online. And I really think moving forward, we should always have an option to be able to offer some of that programming. I would love for our girls to go back into the field and have that hands-on experience. But for the sake of the time that we're living in and the adjustments that had to be made, if we had to give an award of creativity, Crisel, you get it. Like, she really made 20, 30, internship possibilities available for our girls, and many of them participated in multiple internships throughout this time. So, it's internship is key, and for our population that hasn't had the chance to see themselves outside of where they are, this is a game changer for them.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And also talking about some of the programming that's gone virtual, Ms. Q, could you talk a little bit about how the wellness programming has had to now be virtual and of how that's impacted our community?
Yeah, so that was a little bit of a challenge. We were really focused on meditation for our girls and in trying to make sure our girls stayed with meditation. That was a little difficult, especially online, but we have managed to keep that alive. We've managed to keep wellness days alive, and if anyone ever wants to see a beautiful Friday where you're able to see the girls participating in a wellness day program, Kyle, you do an amazing job of keeping the girls engaged with our wellness programming. This time around too, though, because of our study with UCLA and USC, wellness really became something that all staff could participate in, and something that was also really focused to staff, and made sure that we were able to learn and we're still learning now, but learn the different tools that we can utilize to manage our own stress and for self-regulation. And that study couldn't have come, honestly, at a better time. It just, all the stars aligned very nicely with that study. So it's been very helpful for all of us.
Absolutely agreed. Thank you, Ms. Q. And I think this is actually a perfect question to end on with our Q&A tonight. How can we become part of your little village?
Our doors, obviously respecting, COVID restrictions, but our doors are always open for anyone who wants to come in and wants to support what we do. For some folks, that might be donating their time. For other folks, that might be donating resources, and we are always open to taking, any donations possible. Again, I guess maybe I can say this now too. If you the easiest way really to donate is to go on our website, click on Donate Now, make a donation there that we promise will go, to ensuring that we can keep all of this beautiful programming going. You can also just go on our website, www.newvillagegirlsacademy.org, and donate there. And again, some folks feel a little more comfortable just mailing a check, and that information is available on the website as well.
Thank you so much, Ms. Q. And again, thank you all so much for joining us tonight. It was a spectacular event, and I think for me personally, it was a beautiful, beautiful experience to work with our team on creating this event, on creating the music video. How awesome was that with all of our students? And thank you all so much for joining us tonight.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much, and good night.